Hello, it's your boy Lonely Rider 99, and today I'd like to do a review on my 1990 Yamaha Virago XV535. So this bike is a learner-friendly A2 licence bike. It is a 535cc V-twin. They first produced this bike in the UK in 1987 through to 2003. As you can see, mine's in pretty mint condition, all original. A few things with this bike, which is to be expected when owning a Virago, is they're very easy to work with, and they're very pretty, as you can see. A lot of chrome work on the bike. They're really nice to learn on. I learned on this bike after I passed my motorcycle test, and I've had this bike just over a year. And it has taught me a lot on how to ride. It's quite quirky as well. You've got a lot of old school things. So you've got your old original helmet lock. I take the keys here. You've also keep it a bit stuck. It's got like the original fuel kit, toolkit in there, which comes in quite handy. And you put some WD-40 on that. With the controls with this bike, so it's got two gas tanks. It's got the main one up here, and then it's got a reserve down here. So you've got this up here, which is controls your reserve, which is down there, and then you've got your main, which is this one. With this bike, there is no rev meter, there's no gas gauge. You just got speedo, your mileage, and your trip meter. The trick to this bike is when you're running it with the gas, is to set your trip meter by twiddling this to 0, and then this bike will normally get up to around 800 before it needs refueling. Alrighty then, and then on this side you've got your headlights, your indicators, your horn. There's the keys, there we go. One of the bad sides to this bike is there's no exhaust shield on this bike, so everything is ran straight plane. It looks really cool, however you got to be careful, because as you're riding along your feet go there. And you can get a really bad burnt leg sometimes if you've got loose clothing. So it is a thing to watch out for with your Virago. If you don't have a heat shield, just be wary about this exhaust, because it does get very hot. And ask me how I know about that. Just gotta be careful with this. This bike is carbureted, so you've got to choke to start it, but we'll get round to a sound test in a second. This bike does an average of 80 miles per hour, which ain't the fast. These bikes are final driven, which means they're run by oil. You haven't got a chain, you haven't got a belt. They're super easy to look after. I will do a future video on how to change the oil out on these final drives. They're so simple to do. And I will do a future video on how to change the engine oil out on these bikes. Again, super easy to do. The other thing with these bikes, they can get a bit wildly at high speeds, I find. I don't know about other Viragos, but with my Viragos at certain speeds it gets a little bit frisky. So I might put a steering dampener on this bike, I'm not too sure yet. But as you can see, this bike is just completely gorgeous. I would highly recommend this bike to anyone who's just got a full license and is looking into the cruiser market, because these bikes are extremely reliable. I've had this bike for a year now. It's never broken down on me, it's never given me any jip, never any issues, it's just kept running. This Virago as well has just done almost 32,000 miles. So it's literally not done much over the last 30 years, which is nice. Alright, so should we do a sound test? Alright, so to start these bikes, it's very simple. You want to flip the key there to start position. Green neutral lights there. That's your high beam, and that's your turn circle. So with these bikes, you want to pull down the choke here. Pull that down. You've got your starter button up here. With mine, you've got to give it a little bit of throttle. Alright, it's pretty loud. What you want to do with the choke, you want to let it heat up. Alright. I love the smell of the petrol on this thing, it smells awesome. These carbs do tend to leak as well, you've got to be careful on the inside. So that's the sound test of the Virago. And yeah, there's really not much to speak else about this bike. I mean, they're just so simple to ride, they're so simple to run. You know, as long as you stick fuel and something looks like oil in it, it'll last you a lifetime. These bikes are just extremely good fun. I'm not going to sell this bike. I'm gonna keep it now as like a collector's. Because as you can see, this bike's in mint condition. There's nothing wrong with it. Oh, that reminds me, the other thing I forgot to mention is these bikes are drummed in the back, which means the braking in the back isn't too good, and it will help to every now and again to pop off the cap here and to clean the brake dust out of these drums, because that can sometimes make them go a little bit spongy, and it rejuvenates it and gives it a little bit more health putting that back in. And then it's single calipered at the front, which isn't bad, isn't the best, it's pretty good. And yeah, so that's all of it for today, guys. And you know, she is 30 years old and I love it. I think this is an absolutely stunning motorcycle in my opinion. You know, she runs better than Harley and will outlive any Harley on this planet. You know, it'll just keep going and going. If you guys want any future videos on this bike, let me know in the description and I'll be sure to check them out. Alright, peace.